You have already proven yourself. You have achieved things most people never will. And yet, there's still a part of you that thinks, one day they're going to realize I'm not as capable as they think. So you work on your mindset, you repeat affirmations, you challenge your thoughts, you remind yourself of your accomplishments. And it helps for a few hours, maybe for a few days, and then the feeling comes back. If that is your experience, the problem probably isn't that you're doing mindset work incorrectly. The problem is that you're trying to resolve imposter syndrome at a level where it shows up and not where it's created. Since 2019, I've helped over 300 clients permanently resolve inner blocks like self-doubt, procrastination, and imposter syndrome. And in this video, I will explain why no amount of mindset work will end imposter syndrome and what the actual solution is. So using mindset work to resolve imposter syndrome is similar to trying to remove weeds from your garden by cutting the leaves and stems over the ground. For a few days, the garden looks fine again and it appears that the weed is gone, but then the weed grows back. If you want it gone permanently, you have to remove the roots in the ground, right? And so it's the same with imposter syndrome. And the big thing you need to understand, and a big thing that almost no one is talking about, is that those imposter syndrome thoughts and feelings, they are actually not the problem in itself, but they are the symptoms of something deeper. Here's the thing, we all think that we are operating in a conscious mode in our life, like we are in control, but the truth is that 95% of all thoughts and actions and feelings actually stem from our subconscious mind, the mind that we are not aware of. Here's the thing, the subconscious mind doesn't speak the same language as the conscious mind. So all that mindset work does is it speaks with the conscious mind by repeating affirmations, by writing down everything you have achieved so far in your life, by writing down all of your strengths and skills and expertise. And in the moment that might help you. In the moment you may read the list and think, oh wow, yes, I am really a capable person. I'm as good as others. I really belong here. But the thing is, the mindset work just doesn't work deep enough to really shift those beliefs in your subconscious, because the subconscious is not logical. I've seen this in my work all the time. People try to shift beliefs with a logical perspective in that way. They are trying to convince their beliefs that they're not true. By, for example, writing down 100 times a day, I am capable and I am worthy and I can do this, I'm enough. But in most cases, this is just not enough, because this is the language of the conscious mind. But the subconscious beliefs, they need a different treatment because they don't respond to logic. Because if they responded to logic, then all the mindset work you have done to this point would have worked. You know, all the performance coaching you did maybe, or the therapy, if you even went so far and went to therapy for imposter syndrome, those things would have resolved it by now if the conscious mind was the root cause, which it isn't. Everything we think in our thoughts and everything that we feel chronically, like not something that you just think one time, but imposter syndrome thoughts and feelings are usually kind of chronic. They may disappear for a few hours or a few days after you've done mindset work, but they always return again. And this pattern of the thoughts and feelings returning again and again shows us that there is a root cause. And the root cause is subconscious internal beliefs. If you have a belief that, for example, says, I'm just not as good as others, even if you are not aware of it, that's the big thing. You don't need to be aware of these beliefs. These beliefs can be completely illogical to you. They don't really make sense. Yeah. But that's how subconscious beliefs operate. That's how they behave. So if you, for example, have the belief, I'm just not as good as others, this belief will create consistent thought patterns and also feelings. Okay? And you won't recognize this in the moment. When you feel like a fraud, when all eyes are on you, when you're in the spotlight, or when the stakes are really high, and you catch yourself feeling like a fraud, you catch yourself thinking, oh my God, what if they will find out who I really am inside? What if I'm not up to the job? What if they all think that I'm this person and I'm actually not that person, you know? When that gets activated, the belief will create these thoughts. And of course, this is, like I said, not a conscious thing. You're not sitting there thinking, okay, yeah, this belief is now activated, that's why these thoughts come up. But that's how it works, okay? I've done this work with hundreds of people. I have resolved my own imposter syndrome. And the way I did that is by really finding out, okay, what kind of subconscious beliefs do I have about myself? And once those beliefs are gone, those thought and feeling patterns, they just end because the root cause has been eliminated. So if you want to find out which kind of beliefs you may have that create imposter syndrome, you can watch this video that I've made. It's called Self-Doubt Despite High Achievement. Ask these 3 questions, and this is a brilliant exercise to start uncovering the beliefs that drive your imposter syndrome.